Alright everyone, thank you for watching again. Welcome to week 3, episode 3 of the X Chatter. So one quick thing I want to mention before we get started. If you haven't subscribed to my YouTube channel, please do. It just gives me more subscribers. I've got about 7,000, no, I've got 91 subscribers at the moment. If we can make that up to 93 or even 100, that would be pretty awesome. So if you haven't subscribed, please do. Something else I didn't mention last week was that we had some new additions to the videos. Not only that, but we have another new addition to the X Chatter this week. I am really excited for this one because she's told me that she's actually been on the X Factor. So it's going to be amazing to hear her views on everything. So I've got a clip now that she's going to tell us a bit about what happened to her on the X Factor.
Hey guys, I'm Holly. So, X Factor. Used to love it. I don't know if you remember me, but I actually got through to the second stage, which wasn't filmed. And I got kicked out the third, which wasn't filmed. And I think there were like 7 more stages before you got on TV.
Oh, so not actually on the X Factor. Okay, well, it'd still be interesting to have the views of someone that's had at least some experience of it. Anyway, as you might have already guessed by this point, I still haven't done an intro for the X Chatter. I'm going to try and do one by next week. But for now, I guess I'll stick with the X Chatter sign, whatever that is. I'm going to stick with my own.
X Chatter. Say how you feel. The X Chatter.
You got a turn. You got a turn.
This one got me. I like this. But maybe incorporating like X chatter to chat to chat, X chatter to chat to chat, X chatter chat to chat. I don't know. I think that could work. That's really current at the moment.
X Chatter. I'm not gonna lie, up to this has been my favourite episode. I must apologise for my voice. I was out on the lash yesterday in Manchester and now I'm suffering, so I don't need people to think I should got a cold or anything like that, because I haven't got a cold. It's a self-inflicted hangover. So I won't wait to recover it and I'll watch X Factor on catch up.
The beginning of this episode started with We Will Rock You. I mean, there's not much to say about this, but I wanted to talk about it because it was dramatic.
We like the beginning.
We like the beginning. I quite like the beginning. Bit of Queen.
You're like, oh yeah, come on then. What have you got?
X Factor.
Big mistake, taking your ass over the place.
We will rock you. Yeah, I enjoyed that.
The first act was a guy called Richard Ryan, and he came with his nanny Pat. What did you think? Well, if you've been watching the X Chatter, go back to episode 1, throwback now. Mark my words, there'd be a nana. And here's your nana. I think this is the one. She was a sweet nana. And
got all his clothes.
If his nan bought those clothes for him, I've got to say, she's got quite good taste. I did like those shoes, the brown shoes. And did you notice that?
No.
No.
I loved him.
He was good.
Real raw talent.
Whether he'll sell records, I'm still unsure about.
I think he will. I really like him.
He was good, but I think it was the fact that I loved his personality because he was so.
But that's
nice.
part of having the X Factor.
Yeah. It is. Yeah. It is. It is.
It is.
And the next one.
Yeah. Geo.
Hi guys, I'm Gio, and I'm sponsored by this mascara.
All muscles.
Yeah.
And long hair.
This was the one with the beautiful eyes.
Have you actually written that down?
I wrote eyes.
He was wearing eyeliner though, wasn't he?
He was definitely wearing mascara. I could just see it. Just see it in those little rock star eyes.
My name is Giovanni Spano, also known as
He
Gio.
probably was okay in the 80s, but we're not in the 80s anymore. We've come a long way.
I thought at the end of the song it was really, really good. His voice really suited it. And then I was like, can you sing that song number 2? And he was like, song really means a lot to me. At that point, that's where the sob story should have been. So it would have been like this song, you know, it's called Iris, and Iris was my pet hamster. And 2 weeks ago, Iris got eaten by my pet chinchilla. That could have been his sob story, and I would have fallen for it. I'd have been like, man, put him through, he is amazing. I don't care about the mascara or the keep flipping of the hair and whatnot. You know, Gio is the one.
Next guy was a guy called Scott Wilkes. He was the guy with his shirt undone to like down here.
Oh, right, yeah, him.
When he started singing, I actually thought he had a really good voice. And then Ada was like, oh yeah, you can swing with me, Scott, I'm going to swing with you. And I'm like, what? Why are we saying these things?
I thought he was actually doing quite well. He was winning the audience over. And then he went and took his top off.
Give me a cheer if you want me to take my shirt off.
Sorry, what?
I don't know if he thought he was turning up for an audition of Dream Boys.
You need to read your audience, surely.
Way overconfident.
Shallow.
No, he
It
was
was
dire.
really cringy.
Cheesy.
Off. Get off. Not the top. Leave the top on. Get off the stage.
What a d***head. Anyway, if you're in the lineup for Dream Boys, I might have a pop along.
Next person was the guy called Armstrong Martins.
My favourite.
Oh.
I knew he was going to be good.
I actually think I shed a tear within like 2 sentences of him.
You did cry, I wrote it down.
I really liked him. I liked his story, and I genuinely believed it.
I knew I was going to love him because he said he was a church singer, and they're always great, these guys who sort of be there in gospel choirs and stuff. And I loved him. I thought he was great.
And he looked good.
And I was like, they keep showing this guy. He better sing because I like the look of him. He looked like Tiny Temper, but he had like that indie rock thing going, and the tattoos, and like the studded jacket. Like everything about him was like spot on. And he had glasses. Glasses do it for me.
Georgia. She was 20 years old and she sang Who's Loving You.
Oh no, she was good.
Tell you what, Georgia, we're loving you. Wow, best audition that I've seen yet.
I absolutely love the beginning of that song.
Oh, yes, yes, yes. Oh, yes, yes, yes.
Yeah.
You need a good voice to back it up once it kicks in.
Yeah, I liked her.
I didn't think she was amazing.
What's not amazing about her voice? Tell me. How can you not think she was amazing?
I just think she was average.
Average?
Yeah.
You're a front runner for me, and I expect to see you in the final.
Seffi. She did the prayer. Or he did the prayer.
Still can't quite get my head around this one.
It confused my head.
Yeah.
They should have had those costume on that the two Ronnies used, where it's she one side and he the other side, and you turn sideways when you want to do the different singing.
Yeah, she can quite easily change her voice from high to low. Freaked me out a little bit.
He or she has got to make a decision. Like, you can't just keep flipping from boy to girl like that all the way through the competition.
I think she'd go far with her different tones of voice and different body parts, maybe.
I didn't think that her face, I didn't think it looked that manly until she went to do the man bit.
But then when she did the man bit, you were like, of course it is.
Yeah. Just then you couldn't see the woman again.
That's right.
And then there was Ricky.
Ricky. Loved him.
South London.
Loved him.
I liked him. I liked his man bun. Felt for him a little bit when he mentioned that he was homeless for 8 years.
Good backstory, a good personality, and a good voice, and bad names for his kids. Star and Heavenly.
Because he forgot the words.
He did.
Didn't
He did forget the words, and they told it, and it
picked it up again.
And that also didn't seem contrived. I think that the whole episode has been like that. It's been less contrived than others. It seems to have been done a bit more honest.
Naturally.
Not honest, that's what I'd say.
And the last guy was a guy called Tom Richards.
I was so disappointed with this.
Why didn't you like him?
He couldn't sing.
What?
I didn't like his voice. When like your veins are like popping out Because you're having to struggle so much.
He could sing.
I think he was good enough to go through. He's not good enough to win the competition.
I thought his first song was better.
I don't know. I found them both boring. I got distracted by a moth in the room, and that's
not hard for you.
He's got a good voice. He just needs to find out who he is, not like trying to replicate being somebody else.
I feel like Louis wanted to say no to him as well, but he couldn't because he felt bad for him, so he said yes.
Yeah.
But I don't know. And they all said that is the same.
Yeah, I just got distracted by it.
I told you. Quite distracted.
Fair enough.
Oh, you see, I don't know what I'm saying now.